was the catalyst for that change for you to go from negative mindset to positive?
I think Vivian and Adriano had a lot to do with it,
Really?
especially Vivian, because she's all about mindset.
Mm-hmm.
She told me do this meditation every morning.
Yeah.
I'm
What
like,
did you think when she first said that?
Are you a hippie? Like I thought.
Are you a hippie?
I thought like this is only hippie stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. I'm never gonna. Why would I do this?
Yeah.
She's like, just do it. I'm like, okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to True Talk this week. Got my man Ricardo Hernandez with us. How we doing, Ricardo?
Pretty good. Thank
Awesome,
you.
dude. I almost want to call you Ricky Ricardo, like the I Love Lucy show.
Yeah, I mean, that's what older clients usually call me.
Really?
Yeah, they start laughing. Ricky Ricardo.
Yep.
That's how I break the ice with them.
Okay. Yeah, that works, dude. I mean, they all know that show.
Exactly.
It's a classic.
At first, I was like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah, did you even know what that show was? No.
No.
How old are you?
28.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit before your time.
Yeah.
I mean, I barely know, but anyway, so you've been with us now since 2021, right? Any sales experience prior to this?
No, none.
No.
No.
You grew up in L.A.?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Weather just like it is here? Or?
No, it's different out here. Yeah. I didn't bring any warm clothes.
Yeah. You probably don't have any warm. No, you don't have like the type of warm clothes you need for today. You
I don't have a
those.
jacket. I don't own a jacket out like a North Face jacket. I don't own a North Face
Yeah.
jacket. I just have shorts and shirts. That's about
That's
it.
funny. Well, you did pick almost the coldest day of the year to come see us, so I appreciate you for that. So no sales experience, right? Grew up in Cali. You played any sports growing up?
I did. Football in high
Yeah.
school for about 2 years.
Okay.
And then for college, I was like, I'm too smart for this sport. Yeah.
Got it. You went to college.
Yes, sir.
What'd
Yeah.
you study?
Criminal justice. I only went to college because I was supposed to go to college
Yeah.
just to make my parents happy.
Okay. So
But
they really wanted you to go.
Yeah. Just so I could make them happy.
Yeah.
I got my BA in criminal justice.
Okay.
But I didn't walk on stage because that's when COVID happened.
Okay.
So it was gonna be virtual.
Yeah. So like a virtual graduation.
Yeah.
Damn. So you worked your ass off all those years of college
Exactly.
to have a virtual graduation.
Yeah.
What'd you end up doing with the degree?
I became a private investigator, a
Okay.
PI. Yeah.
How'd you end up there?
I was on Indeed one day and
Yeah.
during school, found a
Okay.
job. I got interviewed twice. They liked me.
Yeah.
And then I got hired within a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Did you like it?
I did it. It was
No.
pretty boring, honestly.
Yeah.
But just because I felt like I ruined relationships with married couples, and then I was usually following like workers' comp people.
Yeah.
Some of them were injured, and some of them weren't injured. So
Okay.
yeah,
You're out there trying to find dirt on them.
yeah.
Did you know like what it was all? What a PI was prior to?
I was no, I did. I
What did you
didn't.
think you were gonna be doing?
I like being like a private investigator for somebody, I guess.
Yeah.
Like researching stuff
Okay.
online.
Like I didn't know I was gonna be a home wrecker.
Yeah, like on Instagram, on social media,
Yeah.
finding stuff on social media or on the internet.
Got it. So you did it. You said a little over a year.
Yeah, about a year.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you found us while you were working as a PI.
Yeah, so my girlfriend was the first one to tell me about the FFL.
Oh, okay.
Just because she found it online, she showed me what it was.
Yeah.
It said 100% comp, right?
Yeah.
It said life insurance, and then at first, I was like, no way, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Just because back home, life insurance has a bad like name,
Right.
reputation about it.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it.
Like
and-
with your family, like your culture. I mean, like.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, because my cousins tried doing it, my friends
okay.
tried doing it. They tried recruiting me.
So you kind of already heard the
Yeah,
pitch and you're like,
yeah,
not this again.
exactly. So like, no, I'm not gonna do that because
Yeah.
who grows up wanting to sell life insurance?
Right. Yeah. No, not many people.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. But so what ended up, what caused you to actually look into it?
Well, at first, since as a private investigator, it was pretty boring sometimes.
Yeah.
So I just go on YouTube. That was back when Andrew Taylor had his podcast.
Okay.
I watched all the podcasts. I saw people who were like police officers,
Yeah.
corporate America people were
All
coming in.
different backgrounds.
Yeah, coming into this industry. So I'm like, okay, this is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So I kept watching videos. Finally took my exam, failed it 3 times
Really?
just because I didn't study.
Yeah.
The last one, I barely passed it by like 2 points.
Nice.
And then it just took me like, I'm going to say, it took me like 3 months to get everything started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, when you were a private investigator, did you ever get caught?
I did, yeah.
What's that like?
It's pretty. At first, I was nervous. Well,
Yeah.
just because I have to follow them in anywhere they go.
Yeah.
So if they go to the store, I follow them with the covert camera.
Yeah.
And then once they call me, I'm like, "Are you following me?" And obviously, I'm like, "No, I don't even know you."
Right.
Yeah.
It's got to be awkward, huh?
It's pretty. Yeah, it is. Yeah. At first, I was just getting nervous. Like my camera was shaking. But after a while, I just became pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How soon did you realize that wasn't for you, though?
Within like 3 weeks.
Really?
Just because I was like, what am I doing? Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not growing here. Like sitting down in my car.
And I imagine after, like, you realize, wow, because like you said, I'm like a home wrecker.
Right.
You probably don't feel really good about what you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So now, growing up, you're raised by your mom and dad, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, your dad had some health issues, correct?
Yeah, he has epilepsy right now. Yeah.
He's had it his whole life?
Yeah, as a kid, yeah. He grew up as a kid, yeah.
And then your mom just had to take care of him the whole
Yeah.
time?
Well, in the beginning, my dad used to work.
Okay.
He was a mechanic.
Yeah.
And then he got sick at work, and that's ever since then, he never went back.
Wow.
And ever since then, that's when my mom started taking care of him, just for the doctor, for the little seizures that he'll have.
Right.
Just to be, just to have somebody there.
Yeah. What was that like growing up?
It was pretty confusing at first when I first saw him have a seizure.
Yeah.
He was. It was just me, my brother, and my dad at home.
Yeah.
And my mom went to get food. I think we were watching like the basketball All-Star game, the NBA.
Okay.
And we were laying down, and he was having a seizure. I was like, we started crying just because we thought he was.
How old were you?
I'm gonna say around like 8.
Oh wow, yes, you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
and that was the first.
That was the first time my mom never told me what he had.
Got it.
I never saw I never saw one.
Yeah.
And then we got.
That's gotta be a little traumatic as a kid, right? Seeing your dad go through that.
Yeah, I mean we started crying. Me and my brother, we thought he was dying.
Wow.
We called 911.
Yeah.
My mom came right away, and then she told us what he has.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, she told us what to do, like just roll him to the side.
Yeah.
Let the episode pass.
Wow.
And we can't do anything
How
about
often
it.
would he have these?
Back when we were little, it used to happen a lot.
Really?
Yeah, but now he got a procedure done.
Yeah.
And it's kind of reduced his seizures.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, growing up that way, obviously with your mom taking care of your dad full time, assuming she was unable to work, right?
Right.
Growing up that way, does that motivate you to do what you're doing today?
Yeah, it does. Just because growing up, my mom, she took care of my dad, so there was kind of no income coming in. So I grew up on EBT food stamps, Section 8. Maybe like the only way that they were able to get money, I never told this story before, was from picking up cans, recycling.
Really?
Yeah, they used to go Monday, Tuesdays to recycle cans. And that's how we pretty much got like stuff for like school. Like during high school, I never. My friends would always go out.
Yeah.
I couldn't go, just because I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
But my dad always tried to like give us some money. Yeah.
Now, how does it feel now being in a position you're in? I'm sure you give back to your parents.
Yeah, it's super grateful. Like this is that's the main reason why I never gave up in this business, just because I saw what it could do.
Yeah.
With the Hispanic, my parents are Hispanic.
Yeah.
They kind of don't understand what I'm doing.
Right.
They kind of don't understand what the red jacket means.
Yeah.
They understand what life insurance is.
Yeah.
But what I'm doing, they're like, okay, it's just a job. Like, so what can you ask if you could take the day off today? I'm like, Mom, I could take the whole.
Right. I'm self-employed. Yeah.
I could take the whole week off if I want, but I'm not gonna do it, Mom. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. So talk to me about your transition from, private investigator. That was like your first real job?
It was, yeah.
So you go from that to selling life insurance.
Right.
Two very unique professions.
Very different.
And also two things that I don't think anyone puts on their list as a kid that they want to be when they, like
exactly.
You hear the firefighter, I want to
right.
be a cop, I want to be a pilot or whatever. But not too many people go, I want to be a private investigator. And definitely probably less people say I want to be an insurance agent.
Exactly.
A lot of little kids aren't running around with briefcases and ties and dressing up
right.
as insurance man for Halloween. So what was that transition like? So you said that when business was slow or whatever, or the person you're watching weren't doing much,
mm-hmm.
you were actually studying life insurance videos.
Yeah, I was actually studying the script at the job. I actually dialed sometimes just to see how it was.
Yeah.
They picked up. I clicked right away because I was scared.
Oh, you hung up on that?
Yeah. So that's how I got practice.
Yeah.
Watched a lot of videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
When it was slow during my job.
See, that's why you got caught, dude. You're spending all this time studying life insurance.
Exactly. or sometimes I'll be writing down my script.
Yeah.
I'll look up and their car's not there.
Oh, man.
So they're left, so I couldn't do anything about it anymore.
Well, you're a much better insurance agent than you were a private investigator.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, when did you make that jump? Did you start part-time? Like, were you actually selling life insurance while you were a PI, or did you?
Yeah, so I asked for, like, a vacation,
a
2-week vacation, and that's when I went in the field.
Okay.
And that's when I had some success. I'm like, okay, I could possibly do something with this here.
Yeah.
And then that's when I just never went back to.
Were those your first appointments you ran?
Yeah, it was my first. Yeah, my first time dialing. I
Wow.
booked like 8 appointments.
Yeah.
They say it was the first time rookie luck, but luckily it worked for me.
Yeah.
And that's when I believed, okay, I could do.
Wow.
This is something here.
And right now you're telesales, right?
Telesales,
Is that what you did from the beginning, or did you?
No, I was in home.
Okay.
The first 6 months I was doing in home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you pick it up right off the bat, or did you struggle in home originally?
I was always a people's person.
Yeah.
So kind of it was pretty comfortable for me going in homes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I still had to, I didn't know how to do the e-app.
Yeah.
I used to call my upline like, what do I do? How do I get a quote? And she'll walk me up.
So you could talk to the people. You just didn't know how to do the rest of it.
Yeah. Vivian will pretty much, I put it on speaker and she'll help me out.
Gotcha. What was the biggest thing you think you struggled with, whether it was phone, in-home early on, that you overcame and have allowed you to have the success you have now?
Mindset.
Yeah.
My mindset was horrible back
Really?
then. I was never a person who read a book.
Okay.
Ever since I started this business, that's when I first started reading.
Really?
Like growing up, I never finished a book. Now I'm reading every day pretty much. It was just the mindset and actually believing in myself. Pretty much I did a whole 360 on myself, became a new person. It was just the whole mindset.
Yeah. So how did would you say you had a negative mindset early on?
I did. I had a negative, I'm like, and watch them not even show up.
Okay.
Also, I was already thinking like, okay, I'm gonna go on this travel trip and I'm gonna get 0 sales.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I had a travel trip that, I booked about like 28 appointments, and I just sat with 2 families.
Really? Where was the travel trip?
It was up north by San Francisco.
What was the distance you had to travel?
Oh wow, that was about 5 hours.
Okay.
5 hours, yeah. So I stayed over there. So this is a story. So Vivian called me one day.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, Ricardo, I have some leads up there in San Francisco area. You want to go? They're mortgage protection. I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
I booked about 20-something appointments, went up there. That's when I did cry in my car. 'Cause
Really?
I couldn't help anybody.
How many did you actually sit with?
I sat with 3.
Yeah.
With 3 only.
Yeah.
And the rest.
So you had all these no-shows and.
There weren't appointments.
Okay.
Those type of appointments.
Yeah. They're halfway hanging up on you.
Yeah.
Like, you'll be home tomorrow at 2, and you're writing it down
exactly,
to make yourself feel good.
Exactly. Yeah. That's those are the type of appointments I had.
Got it. So you went out there with like 28 of those,
supposed appointments.
Wow.
Yeah.
And but like you said, your mindset wasn't right. Like you were almost expecting that.
Exactly. Yeah. I didn't believe in myself. Like I didn't believe in this
Why not?
business. I'm not too sure. I think it had to do with the way I maybe grew up.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't really believe in anything.
Yeah.
I thought this is the life that was meant to be.
Right. And a lot of people do. It's like when you grow up in the struggle, we all had our struggles growing up, but sometimes you think that, or a lot of times you think, well, that's all it's ever going to be for me, right?
Yeah, maybe.
You look at the people around you and go, I'm going to be just like them.
Exactly.
And it's not a bad thing to go, I love my family, my parent, but I don't want to be in their shoes when I'm their age. So let me do something different now, which you've done.
Right.
And then when you do things like that, you can also help take care of those individuals,
Right.
But where was the turning point for? Because obviously mindset now, I would assume, is a lot better.
Oh,
you
100%.
Been able to do what you're doing in the field. But what was the catalyst for that change for you to go from negative mindset to positive?
I think Vivian and Adriano had a lot to do with it, especially Vivian, because she's all about mindset.
Mm-hmm.
She told me do this meditation every morning.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what did you think when she first said that?
Are you a hippie? Like I thought.
Are you a hippie?
I thought like this is only hippie stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. I'm never gonna. Why would I do this?
Yeah.
She's like, just do it. I'm like, okay. Everybody's doing it. Like Austin does it.
Yeah.
So I did it. It's pretty interesting.
How long did it take for you to go, you know what? Maybe she's onto something here.
It took me like a couple months because
Really?
the things I was in the meditation, you have to visualize things.
Yep.
And everything that I visualized has happened.
Really?
So I'm not too sure if it's just the meditation or just me putting in the effort.
Probably both. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you start to think when you first notice that? Because it's not like you meditate today. I meditate that everything's gonna be great and I'm gonna help all these families, and then tomorrow you're just magic. It takes repetition, day in, day out, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming it probably took a good period of time of you putting the work in before you started to see those results. But once you did, what did you think?
That's when I finally this business all had to do with mindset, because you could be the best, like they say, salesperson, but have a horrible mindset. That if you have a horrible mindset, you won't be able to help anybody.
Yeah.
If you're already thinking, oh, I'm not gonna help this client, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I used to think, watch me get to the app, watch me ask the social, and they won't give it to me, and that's exactly what will happen.
Yeah, dude, it sounds crazy, but there's so many people watching right now that are still doing that, and they get the leads and they're complaining about them before they even call them, right?
Right.
And you might as well not even call them.
I used to complain about the area, about the county, about the mortgage amount, about the age, everything.
Everything.
My mindset was horrible.
Wow.
Yeah. I used to let me get the young couples first. Let me call it, because they should be, they're better with the phones.
Yeah.
Let me put them first, and then let me get to the older clients, just because they're a little bit harder.
Yeah.
To call. That's
So you're setting yourself up for
failure. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
How long did that go on before, like you said, you meditating every day, kind of clicked? What was the time frame there?
I'm gonna say once I went to convention.
Yeah.
Just because they were all doing the same thing. All the top producers they were just talking about mindset, what to do, what not to do.
Yeah.
And everybody had the one thing in common, was just having a positive mindset and believing in yourself. So I'm gonna say right after convention.
Yeah. How long were you with us before that?
About like 4 months, because I started in October 2021, I believe.
Yeah. Agents and the ones that are, helping the most families are doing those same types of things, right? Like similar habits. It's, not that there's a playbook to this, but this business, at least with Family First Life, I believe, is simple. It's not easy,
exactly,
but it's simple concepts.
The recipe is there.
Yeah.
You just have to pretty much tweak it on your own,
because
the recipe is there for us.
What about now? What's the key in your mind to managing the minds? Because there's one thing, to have a positive mindset when everything is going well. And like you said, you meditate, you manifest things, but it doesn't always go perfect, right? Stuff still happens.
Right.
You still get to that appointment where you thought you were going to help the family and you didn't. The wife gets upset, whatever. You get no-showed. Like, these things still happen.
Right.
The policy that you wrote that you think they're going to keep forever, they cancel before it's like, things happen in this business, right? Mm-hmm. How do you manage your mindset, when you're going through those ups and downs? Like, what's the key to managing it when you're down?
Just keep doing the same thing you're doing. Something I always learn, never let the lows get too low or the highs get too high, because you just do the same things you're doing every day, even though you help 0 families in a week.
Yeah.
If you just keep doing the little things, eventually next week, who knows, right? You might have a big week or a big day. Also, we could have a bad day, a bad week,
sure,
but we can't have a bad month.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you focus on it, control it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, what do you think is which one's harder to manage, the lows or the highs? Because they're different, right? Because you can get low, like you said, have a bad day, and you got to make sure you don't live in that space. But I've seen plenty of agents get messed up with the highs too, right? They go on a streak where they help 10 families in a row,
Yeah.
and then they stop doing the things that got them there, right?
Exactly.
Have you dealt with any of that?
Yeah. Well, the times that I had it, like, I was in my highs.
Yeah.
I usually stopped like meditating, working out, actually reading.
Really?
I used to stop reading and meditating, and then Vivian will know if I didn't do it.
Right.
Just because my business will go down.
Yeah.
She'll call me like, "You're not doing, huh? You're not doing
Yeah.
it." She's like, "What are you talking about?" You know what I'm talking about, and that's exactly what I wouldn't be doing.
And it's not like an intent. You're not, oh, I've helped all these families. I don't need to do that anymore. It's almost like subconsciously you stop, right? Like you all of a sudden don't find time to do it, right? You're just too busy. I can skip out on that. And then what happens though is like you skip out on it one day, that rolls into 2, 3, 4, and all of a sudden you haven't meditated in a week.
And then you're in the bottom, and then you want to meditate again.
Right.
Then you start doing the little things that got you there.
Yeah. So the key is just do the same things regardless.
Just stay level, pretty much. Just always stay level. Never let the highs get too high for you.
Right.
And the lows, learn from your lows. Learn from the bad days.
Yeah.
I think the bad days are the times that you pretty much have to evaluate yourself and see there's a lot of things you could do to get back up where you were before.
Yeah, absolutely. What's one of the biggest things you learned about yourself when you were going through those lows?
Just managing what I'm doing. The times I spent. What time did I start?
Yeah.
Usually, the times I was pretty the best in my highs, I'll start my appointments like at 10.
Yeah.
Finish like at 7. Right. So that I just had to evaluate myself.
Right. There's really no guesswork. I mean, if you're honest with yourself,
right.
I think that's the key, though. Some people lie to themselves, right? Like, no, I've been doing everything. Like,
exactly.
No, no way.
Yeah, exactly.
Because once you get it figured out, there's a learning curve. It takes, Mark Mead will tell you it takes 100 appointments for you to even know what, to even have an idea of what you're doing, which I agree. But once you're past that, you know what to do.
Right.
There's no more guesswork.
Exactly.
And if you're not having the results that you expect or you're used to, then something has changed.
Right.
So
you
gotta
stop
be honest with yourself.
Yeah. You probably just stop doing the little things. Right. Like for appointment setting, you stop confirming the time with them. You booking quick sets. Right. Not tying it down at the end.
Yeah, what were the biggest changes you made after that road trip? Because you said a lot of it was just your phone script, pretty much, right? You had all these appointments booked, but they weren't really booked. What was the biggest change you made after that?
I'm gonna say tying down the appointments and confirming, like, are you 100% sure that this time works for you? And then also the little thing, I think it was Dominic Rogers who's mentioned this.
Yeah.
Just confirming the address, what type of house it looks.
Yeah.
I'm like, so is the address on the street or is it on the wall? Like, where would I find it?
Yeah.
Just those little things. Before, when I did that travel trip, I would just book the appointments. You're here. Yeah, okay, perfect. I'll see you there.
Yeah.
And no shows.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's and that's the thing, when you're off, it's usually small tweaks. It's usually not a complete overhaul,
Right.
So I got to learn everything. No, it's usually small, subtle tweaks,
Exactly. Right.
And one of the first things Sean told me when I started Sun Life Insurance was the attitude activity. The two things you can control in this business are attitude activity. And we've talked mindset is attitude. And then obviously if you're not working, you're not going to help families. You do have to have the work ethic. But you can't, one without the other is not going to yield you results. You could have the best work ethic in the world, but if you're negative, you're not going to help families.
Exactly.
You can be the most positive person in the world, but you actually have to do the work. You can't.
Right, exactly.
Now you were in home, right? Now you're telesales.
100% telesales.
When did you make that transition?
I'm going to say around May 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, May 2022.
Yep, so you were with us for about a year prior.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that transition like for you?
It was tough.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back on the field.
Really?
But they told me that just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
I was just getting no shows. I couldn't help anybody.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like, if I was in home, I could have helped them out.
Got it.
But that was another obstacle right there.
Yeah.
Transitioning to telesales and fixing also that type of mindset.
It's funny how your mind, as much as you work at it, it still will find a way to go back to these bad
You always
habits.
have that little voice in the back of your
Yeah.
head. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I mean, you've worked on your mindset. You were successful in the in-home, right?
Right.
Now you're doing this transition to telesales, and now that negative voice is now saying, if I was in the home, I would have,
Exactly.
which is not going to allow you to, get better at the
Right.
telesales if you're thinking that.
Exactly.
What was the biggest change you made telesales-wise to really kind of figure it out to get to where you are now?
I'm gonna just say, just trying to make a friend with
Yeah.
them, especially since we're just doing it over the phone.
Yeah.
Making a friend, learning how to say certain words
Mm-hmm.
at certain times. For example, during the why, not just asking them like, so how would that day turn out for you if your husband didn't come home?
Yeah.
Not just saying it like that. Kind of changing the tone.
Yeah.
So how would that day turn out for you, Mary, if Bob didn't come home last night?
Yeah.
Just changing the tone of voice.
Some more emotion.
Exactly. Yeah.
You weren't doing it prior to that.
I was just following my script, just going.
Yeah. Which
Right
then
away.
it could like turn into just a transaction. It can get transactional if there's no emotion behind
Exactly. Yeah.
it. And it's I get it because a lot of repetition. I mean, you guys meet, especially in telesales, you meet with a lot of people. It's probably twice as many you meet with, in home because
Right.
the numbers are just the way the closing ratio is. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of repetition, and sometimes you can lose sight of those small little nuances like the emotionality behind what you're saying, the tone. It could just become reading a script to where
Right.
they see through that.
Right.
But dude, that's awesome. You're Hall of Fame, right?
Yes, sir.
First time this year or
Twice.
second?
Second time, yeah.
So 2-time Hall of Famer. Congratulations there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you working on building a team?
I am. Yeah, I have a couple of my friends with me right now.
Yeah.
I'm helping them out as well.
Nice.
But it's just the learning process as well. How to manage a team
Yeah.
while still producing. That could be pretty difficult as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Because I mean, you're producing at a high level, and you don't want to back off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But one of the things you have going for you is you know how to produce at that level, which helps you when you're building a business because people want to be in business with people who can show them
Exactly.
how to do this
right.
thing.
Yeah, just little things I have to sacrifice at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right. Just to help other agents as well.
Yep. Absolutely. What's your favorite thing about the whole telesales?
I'm just meeting different type of people.
Yeah.
From different states, different personalities,
Yeah.
different accents. Right. Midwest people are pretty friendly.
Yeah.
Some of them could be pretty hard,
Yeah.
but mostly they're just pretty. They have a lot of stories to tell. Right. It's you kind of need to take control of that type of call because they could roll off right away.
Right.
So you just got to bring them back.
Yeah.
But just meeting new people every day, different
Yeah.
type of personalities.
Have you called any New Englanders yet?
I have. I used
Okay.
to call New Hampshire.
Yeah.
They are pretty tough.
Yeah, I was going to say, you said Midwesterners are nice. They're not nice out here. They are once you get to talk to them, though. Like, once you
Right.
get to know them. You got to break through that barrier. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
You've had some death claims, right?
Yeah.
Is there one that stands out as more impactful than any others?
Yeah. I'm gonna say when I first started, it was a Hispanic couple.
Okay.
They didn't speak in English, so
Yeah.
it was all in Spanish.
Which I assume you're fluent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the husband didn't want it.
Okay.
He was young. He had money.
Yeah.
He had his trucks. He didn't. In the Hispanic culture, you don't really believe in life insurance.
Right.
His wife was a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
She kind of like forced them. They were like it was pretty awkward because they were arguing right next to me.
Yeah. This was an in-home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were just arguing. I was like, I'm just gonna go on pretend I'm doing the app already. They were just arguing,
Yeah.
and then finally like, all right, here's my information. Whatever. I'm gonna go take a shower.
Wow.
I helped them out. A couple years passed by.
Yeah.
She called me, told me what happened. I just told her, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take care of this. I'm gonna call the carrier
Wow.
for you.
Was that your first claim?
That was my first claim. Yeah.
What was going through your mind when she called you and told you that? Because it's one thing, I mean, you're in life insurance. Obviously, you know what we do. But it's one thing to hear about a death claim, and it's a whole other thing to actually deal with one. Like, what was going through your mind when you first got that call?
I was just like, this is actually real.
Yeah.
What we do here. The things that we are doing could actually changes people's life.
Yeah.
Actually helps them out as well. And just pushing them pushing the husband. I was calling the husband out in Spanish.
Yeah.
I was saying like, you spend this amount of money in the weekends for alcohol.
Yeah.
This one's only gonna cost you a couple $100
Right.
a month. You're spending this a week.
How uncomfortable was it to say that at that time?
It was pretty. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this guy's gonna either hit me right now or I don't know what's gonna happen right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. But like you said, it makes it real, and I mean, it's bittersweet, right? Because I mean, you feel horrible that her husband passed.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't have changed that,
Right.
but then you also feel good about what you did, especially when it's at a point like that where you pushed.
Yeah.
Because a lot of agents, especially brand new, would have walked away from that.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
I don't think that he still would have passed, right? But then there would have been no life insurance.
Right.
So it's bittersweet, but I bet it felt rewarding knowing that I did my job and I helped this family out.
Exactly. Yeah, I kind of felt happy, like
Yeah.
I was able to do the whole process, the death claim process.
Yeah.
And just calling her, here and there, like how's everything? How's your house?
Yeah.
She had to get a job, right?
Yeah.
She had the daycare was already paid for because of the death claim.
Wow.
So she was very at the same time she was grateful but still emotionally sad.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. No, but that's awesome. You're able to help them, and then it changes moving forward, right? Like going into your appointments after that, what changed, about whether your presentation or maybe how much you would push or not, but what did you take from that, moving into your appointments afterwards?
Just calling them out, calling them out and getting uncomfortable with them.
Yeah.
Because it could get uncomfortable. If we don't make it uncomfortable, it's gonna be like we all want to lay down ourselves, right? But once we make it uncomfortable, that's when we kind of know that we're actually doing our job correctly.
Yeah.
Because nobody thinks they actually need this life insurance until we explain it to them and show that they actually need it.
Right.
Just pushing them at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, when everybody's comfortable, nobody moves. No one makes a decision.
Right, right.
It's, this is life insurance. Buying life insurance is an emotional decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that, you've helped a lot of families. You met with a lot of families. 90% of the families you meet with, they filled out that form or reached out because of something that happened in their life, right? It could have been a friend of theirs passed away, a close family member. My favorite was always the guy who's, in his late 30s and gets diagnosed with high blood pressure, and now he's got to get life insurance, because it scares the crap out of him. But so there's always some type of emotion that triggers that act of, looking into life insurance. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you have to get uncomfortable to bring them back to that. Right. And if they're comfortable, you never even get there, and no sales made, no families helped, right? Mm-hmm. Or you write a policy that emotion's not there, the value's not there, and then they cancel it,
Exactly, right.
Did you experience any of that early on?
Yeah, in the beginning, like, okay, so this is how all sales are supposed to go, all appointments, lay downs, right? Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah, I want this one, perfect, right? A couple months later, canceled. Right, just because the value wasn't there.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
And I think it goes back to your point about the mindset is do the small things, do them every day, regardless of the results, regardless if you're up, down, or in the middle, right? And I think the same thing remains true in your appointments. You got to do the same things regardless of how interested they are or not.
Right.
And I think the mistake a lot of us make early on is, if you're interested and I don't have to sell you much, I don't do all the small things. I don't sell I don't find out your why. I don't talk to you about what it looks like if you pass because, like, oh, you're interested.
Exactly.
But then, like you said, what you said happens, right? They sign up 2 weeks later, a month later, they go, I don't need that.
When the sale is easy, something's wrong there.
Right.
But when it's challenging, you did your job.
Absolutely.
If you get uncomfortable, you make it uncomfortable. You grew, the clients grew. Mm-hmm. So that should be a comfortable family help.
Absolutely. That's the thing. In life, dude, you should try to figure out a way to get uncomfortable every day because, like you said, when you're uncomfortable, you're growing.
Right.
And I don't think anyone is at this company or with us that isn't looking to grow, personally, financially, professionally, whatever. But you got to get uncomfortable day in and day out. Was it uncomfortable to come up and do this?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking at conventions, pretty uncomfortable. Yeah. Being here.
Yeah.
But, we got to get it done.
Oh, you grow from it.
Exactly.
We're going to wrap with some stuff that I think is not uncomfortable, some fun questions. Nothing to do with life insurance, really nothing to do with anything outside of they're just fun and we want to ask them. So let's see. I got one here. If you could be any animal in the world, what would it be?
I'll say an eagle.
Okay.
An eagle, just, being able to fly.
Yeah.
Seeing everybody from the bottom.
Yeah.
Right, and just gliding in the air.
Awesome. Love it. If you could have dinner with one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh, that's good. I'm going to say Kobe.
Kobe?
That's a good one. Just talk to him about his work ethic.
Yeah.
Not even about basketball.
Right.
Maybe just his work ethic.
Mentality.
Exactly, yeah.
Last one. What's the last show you binge watched?
Entourage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really? That's an old school one.
Yeah, I just finished it like last week with my girlfriend.
Did you like it?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen Entourage. Seen a couple
Really?
episodes. Yeah.
I heard it's related to like Mark Wahlberg's story.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I think loosely, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming and doing this. Let everyone know who's watching. A lot of people watching. If you're not with Family First Life and you heard Ricardo's story, you want to join Ricardo, you can check him out on his socials. Where can they find you?
On Instagram.
Okay.
My Instagram handle is HERNR727 _. So it's kind of like the first 4 letters of my last name.
Yep.
727 _.
All right. We'll throw it up on the screen.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Well, dude, I again appreciate you coming and doing this. Guys, hit the like, subscribe button, share this with someone, show them Ricardo's great story. And you know, while I love stories like yours, it just proves the point that Family First Life, we don't discriminate. Any type of background, it doesn't matter where you came from.
Right.
You can have the success you're looking to have here if you put in the work, if you're willing to change, if you're willing to grow, if you're willing to manage your mindset. You don't need to come with some certain skill. Right. You had no sales experience. You're a 2-time Hall of Famer. You've never sold life. You didn't even really know about life insurance. Probably you actually thought you weren't interested in life insurance. Thank God your girlfriend showed you this.
Right.
Yeah, I bet she's proud now.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
She takes some credit though. Hey, it wasn't for me, Ricardo wouldn't be here.
It's true. It is true though. But she helped me a lot.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Well, I appreciate you doing this, dude. Awesome story. Keep kicking ass. And just proof as to why you need to go to convention.
Exactly.
I mean, your business changed after going because of not just by going, it's what you did with that knowledge after the event, right? Exactly. It's one thing to go and get excited and all fired up, but you got to do something with it.
Exactly, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching, tuning in. We'll be back at you next week right here on True Talk. We'll see you.